Yo, what's up, guys? It's Jack, and welcome back. And now, as you guys know, ever since the reveal of Call of Duty World War II, the official reveal and announcement, there's been talk about this 24v24 game mode that supposedly you can have. You can choose which faction you want to be a part of. Like, you can be in the air, you can be on the ground as an infantry unit, or you can be a tank operator or whatnot. And it's as I said, it's 24v24. I don't know what the name is of the game mode. It might be called War, but half of the community is basically saying that this game mode is just basically a rumor and just something that has been absolutely made up, and half of the community is saying the opposite, that it's real. So we don't really know what to believe, because I don't think it's been officially announced yet, because if it has been, I mean, it'd be all over the place. But all this is basically rumors and potential leak or whatnot. And I personally think that not only should this be real, nor do I think that it is real, and I'll explain why in a minute, but it needs to be real, because it is the only way, or I see it as a way, for both the for all the community to be happy, as well as Activision themselves, because you know how Activision is all about their supply drops, and of course, how can you blame them? There's supply drops and all that kind of stuff. It makes them so much money every year. So, you know, I mean, they're not gonna stop that. But this is actually a good way for them to include it while not pissing off the community, the casual and the competitive community, in terms of multiplayer, like the base multiplayer. And the way they can do this in a similar fashion such as Halo. For those of you guys that have played Halo 5, you guys know that there's variations of this game mode called Warzone. There's Warzone Assault, and then there's the traditional Warzone, and then there's one more. I barely touch it, but there's three variations of Warzone, either three or four. But anyway, what it is it's a 12 on 12, and then there's vehicles. There are supply drops and variations of weapons and vehicles in the game, and basically the only game mode to where you can use them are in the Warzone game mode. And I think Call of Duty needs to take something out of the Halo book right there and do that with the game. You should keep it out of the base multiplayer, because it's not even in the social playlist. And the social playlist is the non-ranked multiplayer. So it's only in Warzone. So if they take a page out of Halo's book and just use it for the 24 on 24 game mode that is rumored to be true, or that is rumored to be in the game, then I think it's an excellent way for them to remain happy with the amount of money they can make from their supply drops, and by keeping us, the community, happy, because we don't want weapon variants or variants of anything other than cosmetics in the multiplayer, whether it's competitive or the casual scene. We don't want it. The community has already spoken out about that, and this is a way for them to even make more money than they ever have before, because think about all the things they can do. And I think the community that will be into that sort of game mode will kind of dig it as well, because it'll be like the ultimate casual but yet crazy and just fun all around game mode, really. And it'll also draw new audiences, I think, specifically probably from Battlefield, because Battlefield has like really big battles and they got tanks and all that kind of good stuff. But anyway, they can basically use the supply drops to do not just skins, but you can decorate your tanks. You can have different kinds of tanks that do all sorts of different things. Same thing with the planes. You can use cosmetics for your soldier, that is the infantry on the ground, to make them look badass, give them badass helmets, different kinds of weapon variants, which again is something that Sledgehammer was originally famous for, or should I say notorious or infamous. But in terms of the amount of money they can make, and in terms of the community being happy in terms of only keeping it in war, I think, or in the 24/24 game mode, I think that is the way to go. And I think it's true, because these guys at Activision, or or even the makers themselves, Sledgehammer, these guys, while they're developing the game, they're digging up constant new ideas, to keep things fresh and to add new things into the game, and all these different things. There's people that are in the think tank and they do this. Obviously there's people that are basically the higher ups, and that they're in charge of making sure that the game makes as much money as possible, probably. and they kind of have influence on that because Activision is a publisher, and they're the ones that pay for everything, so therefore they're in charge. So, personally speaking, I think if they do it this way, I think it'll be a really good way to make everybody happy, really. And it's a really, really, really tough thing to keep everybody happy. Now, obviously, you know, there are people that are going to get salty about it, that are going to want the 24v24 mode to be, you know, absolutely pure without cosmetics or without variants or anything like that. But at the same time, they can add in different variations of the mode. And let's not mention the fact that they can also, and I don't want to say this because, you know, because I'm not all about the whole nickel and dime thing, but I'm just looking at it from their perspective. If they want, they can add new maps as well to this mode, and they can sell the maps as DLC, obviously, which would make the DLC more expensive, or they can keep it at the same price just to kind of help influence the community, to more of the community to buy DLC. But I seriously doubt that they're going to make it free. I really do. They're not. They make money off of it, so therefore why stop that, right? So, but anyway, so I honestly think that this 24v24 game mode is real, specifically for this reason, because if it's going to make money, and if this is the route that they've decided to take, and if they decided to take a page out of Halo, I mean, hell, Call of Duty's gone in so many different directions that it's taken a page from Destiny. You know, obviously then there's weapon variants, supply drops, and stuff like that, which is, you know, obviously not the only game to do that. So, I mean, why not? I mean, if you're going to take influence from another game, you might as well do it right. So, there you go. So, take a page out of Halo, keep it in that game mode only, and hell, I think they should take another page from Halo and just, like, if you want to, if there's something you don't want, you can trade it in for credit towards something else, and then you can kind of buy it that way or whatnot. So, but anyway, guys, that's pretty much what I wanted to discuss about this. So, what do you guys think? Do you think this 24v24 game mode is real? Do you think it's a whole bunch of bullshit that people just said that it was a quote-unquote leak and they're just trying to build false hype? Or do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you think that this is a unique way for them to keep weapon variants and supply drops in the game without pissing off the general multiplayer community? Please let all thoughts and comments be known down below in the comment section, as always. So that's all I got for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay in the background. I hope the commentary was interesting enough in order to make people think about it at least. And as always, if you like the video, let me know. And if you don't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.